Now we will look at the experience for an individual who submitted during the submission period and it scored higher than the group. You can see on the page that there's a notification that this individual has a score higher than what the group score, and they will receive their own score instead. We can see the final score, their payment adjustment, as well as the payment adjustment date. Once we navigate into View Feedback, we can see that we have details at the top of the page that's letting us know the name of the practitioner as well as the practice that they are at. From here, we can continue to scroll down and see if we wish to evaluate the practice feedback, or we can take a look at the information associated with the individual. The final score at a glance is broken down into the 3 different categories, which is quality, advancing care, and improvement activities. Each one of these contributes to the final score and is graphically relayed on the left-hand side of the screen. We also have the payment adjustment details, the exceptional performance bonus, as well as the total MIPS adjustment. As we scroll down on the page, you can see that we have details on the quality category, which shows the performance score, performance period, highest scoring method, the reported measures, as well as our high priority measures. For feedback, we're giving information on the 3 lowest performing measures for improvement tips for year 2. There's also a measure scoring legend that shows what the colors on the side of the measures mean, as well as the periods of which they fall into. We can view details on the measure, or we can view all details associated with the category. If we navigate in, we can see at a glance, which shows us our highest score, and then we also have details on our submitted measures. From here, we can either expand all measures, or we can open up each one of the measures individually. If we expand all, we can see each one of the details associated with all of the measures associated with the submission. We have our performance rate, the measure score, the ability to download the measure specifications, if available, as well as where the performance rate falls on the decile score. This specific measure was submitted and is compared against the EHR benchmark, as it was notated within the submission that this was the desired outcome. This is also an inverse measure where a lower performance rate indicates better performance, and we also give details on the measure type. Each one of these items are relayed on the side of it, showing how the score was added up. So it fell into decile 8, and we have 0.7 partial points. It was reported as end-to-end, which gives us a measure score of 9.7. Each one of the measures are relayed very similarly, with the measure information being displayed, as well as the calculations of how we're getting the information. For details on specific items related to the measure, we can click on and see the total population, reporting rate, numerator, denominator, as well as the performance rate. All of the measure details are added up as a subtotal. And then we have items around measures that received bonus points that fell out of the top 6, or if you submitted multiple measures outside of the top 6, you might have measures that do not count towards the quality category, and those would be displayed here. At the bottom of the page, we have a scoring graphic showing how the score was calculated. We have our points from quality measures that count towards quality. We have our bonus points, total points, and these are all going to be multiplied by the category weight to show us our total contribution to final score. Next, we'll navigate into advancing care. The advancing care category gives us details at the top about our score, and then the first item we see is the attestation statement. The attestation statements are required for the advancing care information category, and if not submitted, you will not receive a score for the category. Next, we see our base measures. These are also required for the category in order to achieve a score. There are 2 different types of items for base measures. We have measures that are required that do not contribute to the performance score. These are notated with an NA and a thumbs up. And then we also have measures that are submitted that count towards the performance score and also the performance points. If an exclusion is submitted for one of the base measures, it will be notated as an NA and a thumbs up. The next items we have are optional performance measures, if submitted, as well as additional registry bonus measures, if applicable. At the bottom of the page, we also have the same graphic that was similar to quality, where we have our base score plus additional performance or bonus points over the maximum number of points. This is multiplied by 25 to give us our total contribution to the final score. Next, we will view the improvement activities category. So we can see here that they scored the highest. And then we have details around the practice information. If you are a small practice, or if you are any other special scenario that is associated with the improvement activities, where you'll be automatically awarded 2 times the points for all measures, it will be notated here on the page. The next item that we're going to view is cost. For individuals or groups associated that have cost details, these are not applicable to your final score and are for informational purposes only. We can see on the screen that we have 2 measures, the first of which is the Medicare spending per beneficiary. These measures are laid out very similar to the way that the quality measures are laid out, where we have a score which is compared against the benchmark that's going to produce some type of measure score. Measure information here is letting us know that it's based on claims information from all beneficiaries that were billed under Medicare in 2017. This is an inverse measure where less spending indicates better performance. We also have eligible cases or episodes. We have our per capita cost or per episode cost. We have our ratio, and then we have points from benchmark decile and partial points if applicable. The total per capita cost is very similar, where we have the details associated with each one of these compared to the benchmark, and the details are given related to the decile as well as the partial points. The last item that we will view is items and services. This is another portion that is for informational purposes only and does not contribute to your final score in year 1. Not all eligible clinicians will have data associated with items and services. At the top of the screen, we can see that this is letting us know it's about your patient's emergency department visits based on 2017 claims data. This information is not part of your score and is provided for your reference only. We have the emergency department utilization that resulted in an admission. We have patients associated with your practice, associated patients with emergency department visits, as well as the total number of emergency department visits. We have a disclaimer letting you know that patients could have more than 1 emergency department visit during the year, which is why you could have a larger number of visits than patients associated with emergency department visits.